All right, guys, welcome to another fabulous episode of Fan Faces. It's been a while, we've been a while, but I got a guest here, a repeat guest, Mohamed Bangura. He's in the building. He's here to educate us, educate the Sierra Leonean people, educate the world at large, educate Americans, just to give us some insight on sustainability and renewables. And I thought I'd bring him back for part two because this is information that we the people want to know. Me, I want to know. I'm super interested in the renewables. I'm super interested in sustainability, and that's because I come off from Salon, and we come off from Salon, and you day near the equator, you get for be familiar with 10 things in there because we get electricity, but not a 24/7 electricity. We have electricity, but it's not like when you're in America. Electricity breaks down in America, takes an hour, so they fix it. Electricity breaks down in Sierra Leone. Maybe you get it today, maybe you don't get it today, maybe you get it a month later. It all depends on where you live. But today we're here to, discuss some things that possibly moving on in the future, Sierra Leone is ever growing, ever evolving. We're here to just have, people think about certain things and keep it in the back of their mind. And especially with the new communities that are coming up, like you have Tokeh, you have Hastings, the newer the newer communities that are rising. We need to start directing our energy towards renewable energy, wind turbines and stuff like that to grow the country's electricity infrastructure, because I know with electricity being a stable constant in our lives in Sierra Leone, it would make for a great change in the country. It would make for great improvement. And there's already some celebrities coming in. One celebrity, Idris Elba, coming in Sierra Leone. But we'll get into that a little later. But Mohammed,
Yeah,
talk to the
sure.
people.
Sure. I'm very happy to be here again and to share my take on clean energy in Sierra Leone and generally on sustainability. Yeah.
So sustainability to the common person that doesn't know, what's that? What is that?
So maybe I think in short, when we talk about sustainability, we are essentially just saying. I mean, usually you hear people saying sustainability, sustainable development. Essentially, they are saying any development wherein you are catering for the current generation with something in mind to ensure that future generation are not deprived from resources. So essentially, in short, that is sustainable development.
So ever evolving. The issue we have in Sierra Leone, we wanted our independence. We got it in 1961. The British left us,
Mm,
and we never really evolved our infrastructure. We don't have, some houses don't have full plumbing. Some houses don't have full electricity.
yeah.
The British left us with an infrastructure, but we never added onto it, improved on it, because in most other countries, your infrastructure is improved upon. So that way, when you go build a house, you have running water, you
Yeah.
have indoor plumbing, you have electricity, you have power 24/7.
Mm,
And that really has hurt us as a country because now we depend on a Turkish ship that's off the
yeah.
coast that we owe $40 million that we can't pay, and they're not giving us electricity.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out other ways.
Well, it's interesting to also understand like the background of energy, right? There is a huge correlation between quality of life and energy. So when we talk about energy, we should be talking about electricity and the other types of energy that we depend on, right?
Sure.
If you check here, for example, my average monthly bill, sorry, not the bill, my average monthly electricity
Usage.
consumption is like 150 kilowatt hour,
Mm-hmm.
right? 150. I will tell you this. In Sierra Leone, according to the World Bank, in Sierra Leone, the average for a typical home, the entire home, is like
Oh, wow.
5 kilowatt hour, right? So you can see like this huge correlation because here I do not have the option to probably turn off my freezer, or to have like
No, you have that option. It's
yeah,
just it's not something that's in your mind. Power
yeah,
is there's power available. Why am I going to turn that off?
yeah,
Let's keep
yeah.
it running.
Yeah, sure. So there is this huge correlation between, very strong one, between the amount of energy you need to survive, and the quality of your life.
Sure.
So I guess when you talk about infrastructure, that the British like gave us the
They left us
infrastructure, they
with.
left us something, but then we have not been able to build upon it. I think we have to take like a check on that. How much energy do you think the average person in Sierra Leone will actually need? Why do we need to build on infrastructure? Why do we need to have the grid extended to every house in Sierra Leone? Like you have to think about all of that thing.
You,
Yeah,
you you spoke about quality of life.
yeah.
Have you ever been to a country besides Sierra Leone where a hospital is not open when you need it?
No, not really.
So if you
Yeah,
have electricity in a
yeah,
hospital, it goes a long way into saving people's lives. You're
yeah,
not just a patient sitting in the dark and we're like, oh, this is life as I know it.
yeah,
You are a person that's being taken care of and they could see and they could help because there's power running 24/7, all the necessary equipment to take care of your life
yeah,
to make sure that for make sure say your quality of life, the way you want for live and the way the things and the machine that we need for keep you alive, they keep you alive and then they work properly. So electricity right now, Salon you say now 5 kilowatts hours.
yeah.
Okay,
Like on
on
average.
average.
Yeah.
So if let's say you get 24/7 electricity without interruption, you think say that consumption they go up or go down?
Well, before I answer your question, I really want to I want to play like both sides in this conversation.
Okay,
Like the sides of my background are in power systems
okay,
engineering, right?
okay.
And now I do sustainability, right? So in power systems, we also need to understand, say, energy is expensive.
Sure.
The infrastructure is expensive.
Yes.
When they build like a transmission line, and for make it last for 50 years. So when that person puts money per for last for 50 years, and so because energy is very very expensive, when somebody dey invest in energy project, if we expect say people and for ready for use am, but if you go now the average home na salon right now, somebody go prefer for cook with gas, or somebody go prefer for cook with coal, right? Most of them activities them they go use something we don't
We know they
necessarily
consume
need
energy so much.
electricity.
Okay.
We don't need electricity. So
I get what you they say,
yeah,
but make I interject. You know what to make people and leg for order from Amazon?
yeah. I mean, make a land.
Convenience. You know
Yes.
how much they charge for me order on Amazon for things that some taking buy something for
Mm.
$2, $3, and eventually then raise the price them up.
Yeah,
Where they increase the price them, we not left them. You know what to make we not left them?
because of the convenience.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see, don't I yours?
yeah,
You say, you go through the app now, Amazon. You say, I want this, I want that.
yeah.
You click, order, put on a bag, and then you check out. And then 2 days later, if you're an Amazon Prime member, if you're an Amazon Prime member, 2 days later, 3 days later, the package
Mm.
is at your front door. All you have to do is open that front door, open your remote, take them,
Yeah,
and you get what you need.
yeah,
So now people then prefer for use gas. The people that will not get on so much then go use coal. The
yeah,
people that will not get on so much then go use wood, paper, whatever they need for do. We because then people because these people don't have
yeah.
the ways and means that we have here. But if there was another way, an easier way,
Mm.
which is you have your kitchen inside your house,
Yeah,
you have your stove. All you gotta do is click, turn, it's on. You have instantaneous warm water, instantaneous warm food.
yeah.
Would you not use that?
Of course, you would. But okay, so as I say, I want to play both sides,
Play
right?
both
The
sides.
sustainability part, wherein everybody forgets clean energy or so, and then the power systems background, right? Wherein we talk about the infrastructure and everything. So the whole thing about sustainability, you get like three components in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, na society,
Yep.
like people dealing with people. Two, na the environment, right? That means the resource what we use, outside the come out.
Mm-hmm.
If we use them pass mark, it will affect people in generation after we, right? And then you get the economics of it, right? How much it costs we for harvest these resources for serve people, right?
Right.
If you check Salone, we get constraints by all of them here,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
We get constraints by the economics, we get constraints by even the resources. People and they say Salone get Bokusan, but how much it costs you to convert solar? Like the average cost for me install solar, like average people able afford that upfront cost there.
Well,
Right?
in depend who side that money they come on.
Yeah. And then on infrastructure wise, right? If government today choose for say, okay, I'd focus all my resources on building, extending the grid, building like a power plant and things like that, how much of we current budget we forgo to social issues then go be diverted to that, and how much complain people go get. You understand? So it's like something in sustainability we call like a wicked problem, right? You want to solve one thing, another thing depend on that thing there, and it pull up. You want to say, okay, man, solve this two, and then another one they pull up. So it's a wicked problem that for solve them it takes a lot of like progressiveness.
Well, it's the natural domino effect in life.
Yeah.
Every action has a consequence, good or bad. So if you say you the upfront cost of solar, you say okay, for me you put basic solar for cover you refrigerator, your freezer. You say okay, that's 50 million leons or 100 million leons. Okay, you say okay, I'll invest this money because I know in turn what this will bring for me. It will give me way from Mecca. If me na small market vendor, I did na Lumley, I did sell. I can put me drinks then, put me water then there. I know say they don't turn nice block. But the hot sun, but the waka, me water, me drinks them, me rubber drinks then go maintain. Then go maintain past all man. And whenever somebody can buy them no more, then goes no say you're not the coldest.
Yeah.
And they quench people and thirst. So people then will come back to me. So are you willing to make that investment up front? Can you afford to make that investment? And if you can't, is there somebody you can ask to help you make that investment?
So, yeah, sure. So well, historically, there is this like series of activities you can connect for sure how people that don't solve energy issues, as like access to energy or access to electricity.
Go to Dubai,
right? Yeah, of course that's one. But one way is to just sacrifice part of what you can benefit now, right? Sacrifice part of what you could benefit now for the long term, right?
Salomon Sabi Dande.
I'll give you an example.
Because all they say is, what you get from me now, Paddy? What do you have from me right now?
Give me now. Like I want all thing, right? I can give you an example. One thing where anybody will do like clean energy, whether not solar, whether not, I mean, I use solar because nine common as Salone.
Nine common for sure. Nine we sabi.
Whether not solar, one thing people can do for convince somebody. If you get a business, let's say you run generator, you burn 5 liters per day. If you check that 5 liters, they'll make us say for the 1 year, it cost you 10 million loans on just on fuel. This not include the cost of a generator.
Nope.
Just on the fuel, right, where they burn. So one thing where people and where they install solar for do or within the practice now that they will tell you the cost of your current energy consumption for the 1 year, like your fuel cost. And they go tell you, say, okay, if you continue for spend the same money, if we convert that money, they will put up as solar. Now, so it will cost you today, as of today, for how we install this solar. But then the good thing that in the next 3-4 years, you break even. Where now after that 3 years, your energy expenses they become almost zero.
Just profit.
Yeah.
Now I mean for say.
Just profit. So this is not just one thing where one way you can convince people. And when it comes to energy, when you scale this up, let's say for the entire country, if government for do that, they mean say they need for cut per small budget them, right?
pinch here, and that, and say, come together
and say, okay, make we build the next big plant. I will tell you one story. When I go home 2020, I think I decided for a job, and the one side where I go first now, then it's EGTC. Is it EGTC? I forget. The
I
one
don't.
that where they generate, right?
The only one that we me sabi but na EDSA.
Yeah, EDSA and they distribute,
EDSA
and
na
I
popular.
think EGTC also now then they generate also.
Okay.
Yeah. When I go there, I meet with like one of the technical directors, and they tell me say, Salon as we speak, we not get no generation plant apart from the hydro. We rely on then car power ship them
Okay.
for supply the city specifically. So essentially we
Some
want
parts of the
genset.
city, not to all parts of the city. Keep that in mind. If you're in the
Yeah,
west side,
yeah,
you're good to go. If you're on the east side, God bless you.
yeah. So it come on for make somebody go 1 week, it not get light.
While I've been young,
Yeah,
we they go 30 days without lights, and when your neighbor gets light over and I
yeah,
glad it for them because now the first time that you don't see light, and then it come
yes,
for like a 5-10 minutes, you don't go back.
yes. But then we understand like the overall system we need for change. The overall, and what's a change? I mean convert like redirection of budget, right?
Yeah.
From whether it's education or other part, as I say, a wicked problem, right? As we pull common area, we dey constrain the other side and they for focus now. But then we very fortunate alone, of course, under ECOWAS get like an entire plan for the country then and West Africa. And one of the mandates we Salon get by 2030 now for make sure see the grid at least extend to 92% of every Sierra Leonean.
Not to just Salon,
Yeah.
no, na America. President Barack Obama na him puts down the light up Africa. I sure say as the first African president, we in American, in decide say 2008 when they elect him, I they go visit me motherland.
Yeah.
Right? And go there, na Kenya. Now they say, this place dark, oh. Well, sometimes Kenya not dark. Make I not talk
Yeah,
so. But
I don't think say Kenya very, very dark.
Africa dark, oh. When the plane then they land, I can't see nothing. So in decide say in one for light up Africa.
Yeah.
So in puts that implementation they in place and that money they aside. Cause then they give aid to Africa every year or so when they make them budget. Then they part of the budget for give aid to Africa, and part of that budget they that year they now for light up Africa.
Yeah.
So through that through that bill day and that money they will then set aside. Now it makes Salon and ECOWAS get their opportunity for at least 92%.
Yeah.
But hopefully we're on the right path, and all the new economy, all the new communities that within they make, then they for be a staple part of the infrastructure. Because you not get for think again, you not get for struggle again, you know, say why they build this so I get for preparing for connect light.
Connect light. Okay, well, I'm glad you bring that up, right? Make also understand how energy they work na Salon, right? We get like the one that would they generate the energy, and then we get the one that we get the transmission system, and we get the distribution system. The easy part for them all now for generate or for distribute. The most expensive part now for transmit the power. We get one of the oldest transmission network.
We know, yeah. Develop right? the infrastructure. Where the British left with, how they left with, now so in there.
Yeah. So the difference, like some of them country, they like don't even go country level, like state level. New York, for example. New York gets what they call the New York Independent Service Provider. So okay, like NYISO, something like that. Service operator. Yeah. So then now they like EDSA, now they facilitate buy and sell of electricity. Who that then they buy from people who they generate electricity, like different company the way someone they use hydro, someone they use solar, someone they use a generator for sell to the grid, right? Then they control like the grid, the transmission line and distribution. But Salon, we just get one entity where they all get some direction to the government. The government is not in charge of them, right? So you see, so there is no nothing like independence wherein one body go hold the other person responsible. Because all they generate essentially the same, they all under the same Ministry of Energy, we like now they control them all, right?
Yep.
But so that means say we for the expecting that we get for do with something, we for the expect solution we get for do with outside the grid, like them mini grid them, like then solar wouldn't they? If you go to Masheka right now, you go to Maba Junction, you see solar. Then they're not a part of we central grid.
Right.
So then just they'll be operated by small company then.
Mhm.
And then company and they only survive based on that Moyaba junction, if example, how much people able accept say them for use electricity now.
Well,
You understand, right?
man, they get
Yeah,
TV now, so you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, so an interesting part where you go, if you go check the tariff right now, then tariff they at least 2 or 3 times more than waiting people in Afriton they pay. Right? Because then small company and the government not get the extra money
Yeah.
for subsidized electricity.
Yep.
Right. So if we take all of this come back to the idea of sustainability, it means say we for be careful how we the force people and for use clean energy, for example. Because if I dey live na some village and me small generator, you understand, enough or is sufficient for giving me light, make I continue that one dey first. You understand, right? Because most likely, because even these small mini grid operators, then when they can build, then they get like some commitment with government. Say, I can build this, I go find investors them, where they invest in this project, and this project for take 20 years, for make I will pay them back.
Right.
So if tomorrow government just wake up, government say, okay, this president come, he say now I'd extend the grid all side. What's in the happen? Government go need for pay. In the most likely case, most of them small company, because government, the previous government or whoever may be in charge, may don't agree. Say,
They don't make a contract.
yeah. So you see, right? So sustainability and the availability of resources, whether natural or financial, they need for go like hand in hand. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. So for Una people then where they use charcoal, if electricity come on our way, now try for convert small. You don't need for be at full speed because the food tastes better sometimes than they with charcoal versus the gas burners the way they can buy or the electricity way they can supply on. So that's understandable. But wind turbines, we not get one as alone, but we get them beaches them. Boku.
Yes.
So waiting you think say because they say one wind turbine can power up a whole town.
Yeah.
So waiting you think say now the benefits of made them wind calm, then wind turbines and they na salon. Either na the rural side or free tongue.
Yeah, so I know some company right now, even the one for is it Burnt or Shabu Island?
Shabu Island.
Yes, then they consider for use wind, right? Of course, when you consider technology, you for consider the resource were available that area there. Salon, one of the resources they say we get plenty na water.
Yes.
Hydro. Now they make if you check the 2015 energy plan, we supposed to get about almost 90%, like 87.6% of we future energy from hydro because we get plenty water.
Yeah.
But wind, I'm not very sure how much wind we get, but I'm sure like I think it's called octopus energy also, right? I should say they don't do the feasibility study and they understand say by Shabu Island wind go able to do something.
Well, the fact of the matter is all the new communities that within they make, all the new communities that people are building houses, they're closer to the beach areas.
Yeah.
My father has a house around the Tokyo area, and there's lots of winds, lots of high winds over there.
Yeah.
You could put a wind turbine there, and if you put it there, it could power up that whole new community that's being built. So I feel like the people that are building, that are coming from overseas, that are building with these
should consider something.
Yeah, should consider something like that, because if you're near the beach, you can either go wind turbine or you could go solar. And they say sometimes if you use too much solar, then the countries that are near the sun will turn into the Amazons, because now it will be all green. It will block the sun from hitting.
Okay. Well, that's a very big myth in itself, right?
Well, because that's what I say.
Because when I mean, make I start with the solar part, because then last you mentioned when sun they fall down by the solar technology. If you observe, solar get blue coating. The reason for that, the main component per any solar panel na silicon. But silicon it emits light per smack, like it shine per smack. right?
Okay.
So then they coat her with like some nitrates, something where they make it blue, where they make, you know, where they make it like, you know, send the lights back for go,
Bring and
right?
come inside.
Yeah, they bring and come inside. And when you compare the size of the earth, right,
Mm-hmm.
and the size of the sun, right, the size of the earth so small that even if you cover the entire earth, I don't think they affect
With solar panels,
yeah,
then.
yeah, you know, they affect like I don't know how that idea did it, but you know, get no major environmental effect on the earth.
But waiting them they
Yeah,
say is if you cover the whole Sahara Desert with solar panels,
it
then
will power the entire world.
yes.
Yeah, yes, and I mean, if you do the math, that's supposed to be true.
But
But
then,
again,
but then over time, because you do down the
mm,
because you do down the what's that called, the land, they become more fertile because in
it
cover.
begins to cover. But then, what about the house you already built already? Like if you just put it on top of the house, right? It
Yeah,
become a rooftop.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Elon Musk.
yes, yes. Well, now the one advantage and the way solar gets over other clean energy technologies, like wind, for example. If you put a wind turbine here, most likely person will farm around it because they can get noise. Also, you need to put a near which are people in there. I make when you mentioned seeing at the beach, when wind turbine the turn, people are not able to sleep around. Like it can be very noisy.
Okay.
And there are a lot of concerns about even that they kill bird them, right? Birds. They
Of,
kill a lot of
of
things, right?
course, because
So
fly blind.
yes, so that take me back to the whole idea of sustainability, like the three components, right?
Mhm.
The people, environment, and resources. And the basis way the basis way we then treating and the team up on. When are the idea for say any resource way available, if we're able to use it now, right? And ensure say it's sufficient for people in the future.
Just
Right.
fair
Yeah.
warning. This not learning for me as well as learning for you. I'm here to learn from
Yeah.
somebody that knows more than me, and I'm here to give you this information and give you this opportunity to learn this information because it is invaluable information for you to learn today, learn for tomorrow, pass it on to somebody, and don't tell stories that really that you heard from he say she say, but it's directly from a source that's viable and reliable. This is an opportunity for everybody to learn. To feed your mind, feed your soul, and like me talking about wind turbines, I don't know much about them, but I'm being corrected. I'm being educated. That's completely fine. That's why we're here to
Sure.
learn and be educated.
Sure. Sure.
So I do really believe if there's light 24/7 in Sierra Leone, it will change the economy tremendously
Definitely.
because if you are a car mechanic, oh, it's 7 o'clock, I'm done. You don't
Yeah.
have light in your shop, so you're done. But if you're a car mechanic and you want to make extra money or you want to keep your garage open 24/7 for emergency services, you can keep your shop open.
Yeah.
Somebody could be working in there in case somebody breaks down.
Yeah.
And you could station yourself like a franchise, have one at every toll stop.
Yeah.
And, once people get there, they get their cars towed to your shop.
Yeah.
You can
Uh,
take care of things.
yeah, I think I can add to that. One of the first communities that we connected was around the Loko Masama
Okay.
community, right? I remember we went there like I think 7 months after, like to connect another community that was not very far
Mm-hmm.
from Loko Masama. And the chiefs, like the elders in the community, they were telling us how they've seen like a lot of young people coming from those small villages, like to live, like to stay there because there was like electricity. Even though it was not for 24 hours, sometimes maybe from 15 hours or so to 20 hours.
15 hours is
A
plenty of
lot of
time
young
out the
people,
day.
right? Yeah. And they saw like a huge increase in the number of passes
Mm-hmm.
for how do you call it for the Becker exams,
Mm-hmm.
like a huge increase because these kids they used to study, like they go to study camps and there was electricity. Even though you could argue that, but it's so easy like for our communities to connect like the dots, like access to electricity and quality of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's great for everybody. Even especially in the villages also where you're like, oh, I want to study, but maybe I don't have kerosene, or maybe whoever it was supposed to bring the kerosene for my lamp did not come to town today. So I gotta wait a couple. I gotta wait a couple of days to get my stuff together before I can study for a certain exam, and that's not fair to people to get the education.
Yeah.
You need to get education so you can build a proper infrastructure, and a proper infrastructure leads to ever evolving town, ever evolving country, ever evolving society. Because the people that are getting education are going to come and improve that town,
Sure.
that country. They're not going to be like, okay, well, I grew up there, I'm out now. Like, you take yourself and you go to New York City, and that's that.
Yeah.
So, this is an opportunity for the government of Sierra Leone, the people that are building in the new communities, take advantage of green technologies, renewables, to improve your community as far as electricity goes, and make sure that everybody, I mean, have people come together. That way you could create enough energy to be able to resell back to the powers that be, instead of thinking about, oh, we owe the Turkish company 40 million, we'll never be able to pay that, so we won't pay it. Either
Yeah.
they forgive our debt or they don't. We don't care. You don't want to be in that situation. You want to have, you want to evolve to the point where they left you the next time they come, 5 years, 10 years from now, when they come, it's not where they met you, and you feel very good about the way things are, because you've developed so much. And compare in partnership with that, plumbing as well. The country of Sierra Leone needs to, like, with the new communities, put rules and regulations in place to be able to have indoor plumbing, good indoor plumbing, not just, I have a flush toilet just because, and it's really nasty, and it's flush toilets are not supposed to look black at all. You use them, you clean them, and if you have running water, that kind of helps with the cleaning. They're not supposed to be, the way they are. But people are like, oh, this is my flush toilet, I have indoor plumbing. Do you really? Because if your toilet isn't clean, you don't have clean water, you don't have electricity, you don't even know what you're sitting on,
Yeah.
and you're going to get sick, and you don't know how come you're sick. It's not the devil, it's cleanliness.
Yeah.
It's not having electricity to be able to see, to be able to constantly see where you're at and what's going on with you. But Shabu Island is gonna start booming, and I'm sure people are gonna want to move there, because if you have a place in Sierra Leone with 24/7 electricity, if they could make that possible, it's gonna be the new booming part of town, and everybody that's developed or that wants to develop is gonna go over there. Whether it's businesses, hospitals, restaurants, it's gonna be the next place to be. And Idris Elba, with the help of the government, is gonna hopefully go far. But also, stop holding the diaspora's hand underwater. When we come in, we want to develop. Don't say, well, what do you have now for me right now today?
I think I was going to ask, how was your experience? How was your experience with? I mean, not your experience with electricity. Like,
Okay,
let's limit it to
so
that.
I had two opportunities with the electricity while I was in Freetown. I stayed at my aunt's house. They have solar. They have ETSA cables. So during the day, if there's light, you could have ETSA light. And at night, if there isn't light, the solar panels are charged up enough, the batteries are charged up enough for you to be able to use solar. But I didn't have enough electricity all the time at the house, because sometimes we could be using the solar all day because electricity is not coming through.
I see.
So that destroys the point of the solar. So, but when I went over to my father's house, the solar panels are new, light 24/7.
Awesome.
So I was just like, oh, this is great. This is what it feels like to be able to charge your phone at 100%. I was never able to really charge my phone at 100% all the time when I'm at the other house, because maybe you have power, maybe you don't. Maybe the solar is working, or if it's been overworked. So it has to go off for the night.
Wow.
So that was my experience with electricity. And I mean, for me, coming from here, America, it's pretty annoying to know that you can't charge your phone like you want to know that you can't watch TV if you just don't feel like going out like you want to, because you could be watching TV and all of a sudden, yeah, power's
Yeah.
out.
So if I may ask, if you have the opportunity to invest in like the energy sector, like
Mm-hmm.
which part of the energy sector would you invest?
I'd like to get a solar farm
Solar farm.
and resell back,
Ah,
so that way I could be a supplier, so
okay,
that to make sure that people have power.
okay,
That's what
that's
I'd like to do. They do that in America as well. There's people with solar panels in their
mm,
houses, or like Elon Musk and Tesla, they have solar panel
yeah,
roofs, and they could fill your whole roof all
yeah.
filled with solar panels.
There is a role that policy will have to play, like in that context, because I do not think currently you can sell to the grid from your roof, right? In Sierra Leone,
No,
right?
no, I'm sure
Yeah,
you
but
can't.
so there is a role there that policy will have to play. But I think in the long run, Sierra Leone is a very small country. I'm sure
It is.
if collectively people are able to like do that, if I have the will, if I have the way right now, I'll push for this policy that every new like building or
New
facility
community.
should have like they should, yeah, they should build their roof so that it can accommodate solar.
Mm-hmm.
At least, even if you do not install a solar, your roof should be fit to accommodate solar.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is just one very
Do
simple
that and
solution
make it possible for people to be able to resell back into the
into
grid,
the
and
grid.
then that way
Yeah,
you're not like, oh, I'm $40 million in debt and
yeah.
I can't pay it and I don't want to pay it.
And that's debt you can actually distribute it to people, right?
Yeah.
You give people subsidy that
Yep.
if you install like a 1 kilowatt system, you have this subsidy.
Yep.
We will probably exempt you from paying this tax, like your income tax, like things that you're not taking money from the pocket of people, but you're just reducing how much you take from people,
I mean,
right? Yeah,
that'd be a great idea
yeah,
moving forward.
yeah,
The country should be ever evolving. It's
yeah,
not where they left you. Not to decide to meet you,
yeah,
waiting and you. When done, you say hi. Don't know. That's the way you give me try day. Don't know.
yeah.
But what you do for make sure say that thing they not done? What you do for make sure? What did you do to make sure that progress is everlasting to the point where you can pass it on to somebody else and they're like, oh, let me improve on it. Because
Mm,
if I don't improve on it, the future of whoever I leave behind, they don't have one.
yeah.
So that's an opportunity. But people, Mohamed, I appreciate you for being here today.
Definitely.
Informative conversation.
Yeah.
I want the people of Sierra Leone for Sabi say renewable energy now the way for go really in my own opinion now the continent of now the continent of Africa. Well, I will say West Africa, because West Africa now some of the countries don't know get that infrastructure they saying, be able serve power to everybody like how we want. Forget 24/7 electricity. So if you not get that opportunity there, look into renewables. All the new communities that within the bill, look into renewable energy sources, and go take we far and go take we a long way, and we go build and we go improve. And it only take one thing for show improvement. Because when you do that one thing there, somebody else go do something else for improve param. Hopefully. And then the next man, then the next man. By the time you know it, 20, 25 years later, you come back in a different country they meet because of that one initiative the way somebody take. That one thought that somebody had that I wanted to improve. So Sierra Leone people, keep that in mind. But this is just for educational purposes, so that you guys know, and I feel like I'm a little bit educated about having had this conversation from somebody that knows more than me. And hopefully you see this video, you share it amongst your friends. Make when I get interesting conversation, interesting debates there about not just interesting debates there about sports, but interesting debates about the country and future when campaign electricity. All right. For fan faces, I am Amadou the Great. I forgot to introduce myself, but if you want to catch this episode, there will be an audio version of it out on all streaming podcast sites: Amazon, Spotify, Apple, and the list Google. The list goes on where you could catch this episode. But if you want to see my beautiful face and Mohamed's beautiful face, we're very handsome, by the way. Catch us on YouTube, Fan Faces. Fan Faces is the name of the podcast. Catch us on YouTube and look out for Final Cuts Media. That's the YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Final Cuts Media also makes great music. We have lots of artists on the roster that do great things. The music is amazing. And also, new news breaking right here. We're also in the movie industry. We're coming. We're trying to take over all aspects of media. There's lots more things on Final Cuts Media CEO's mind. They're gonna all manifest themselves in the future. But as for now, thank you for being here.
Sure.
I appreciate you, and guys, have a great weeknight, weekday. Till next time.
Sure.
And that's.
I think that was a very great conversation.
And that's what I think.